The cocaine they found at the White House apparently was in a spot that any normal person would have been searched. And everybody's like, who could it be?
The big change is where this was found. It was found in a much more secure, limited access place. It's down near the Situation Room, right off West Executive, down below. And normal people just can't get in there.
So, Hunter Biden, guys, I mean, allegedly, right? I'm not going to say it's definitely him, but the cocaine they found at the White House apparently was in a spot that any normal person, like a waiter or like an assistant to somebody or something like that, would have been searched. This was like in a place that you probably had to have like familial privilege to be in. Now, this is all hypothetical. I don't know everything about this case, but this is what it sounds like right now. And everybody's like, who could it be? Like Fox News and freaking CNN and everybody, even Fox News. But they were even like, we don't know where this came from. Like, but bro, we have like a whole freaking laptop of Hunter Biden just doing lines of coke off strippers' butts. Like, you can go look at these videos right now. And so us pretending that we don't know is just so stupid. Now, maybe it was somebody else's, but like de facto, your normal line of thinking should be like, oh, well, Hunter does cocaine, so it's probably his. It's that simple. And if it ain't him, maybe it's Joe Biden, because I'm guaranteeing this guy seems to be taking bumps before he's walking up on stage, you know, like you can tell. Dude, the debate, I felt like when I watched Trump and Joe Biden, the one debate that Biden show up to, it was like a different guy, man, like a completely different guy. I don't know what they put him on. It had to have been like a drip or something where he like stepped on like a pump of some sort in his shoe and it shot up through his body. It was just like empowering him like every couple seconds, you know, as soon as he stumbles his feet around because he gets that like old man, like, where am I thing, you know? Anyway, so they found cocaine at the White House. Now, like, look, throughout history, you kind of felt like, oh man, there's probably a lot of that going on, but you didn't know about it, right? It sucks to know about it now. Watching this dude get off, no charges, no nothing. It's absolute corruption and the whole country is watching it. The president of the Sun is at the White House during speeches and like during like that occasion where everybody said he was doing that bump behind when he was walking behind his mom. You're at the White House and you're a sign of corruption because you're not being prosecuted for things that there are people in jail for today. Everybody who's in jail is looking at this and going, oh, but the son of the president doesn't have to put up with it, you know, and that's corruption. And they're doing it in front of your face. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're bringing him on camera at the White House during like a pretty big scandal. So there's a fella who says that he can prove that Joe Biden was getting a $10 million bribe from some country, I think it's Ukraine, and some company in Ukraine or something. Dr. Galuft or whatever it is, he was the one who said, I've got dirt on them, and then right after went into hiding, and then he just published his stuff, basically a 14-minute video on Twitter, and then immediately the Department of Justice goes after him. And now he's indicted or whatever. Like the Department of Justice is going after him. You've got a person saying that sitting president of the United States is guilty of corruption and I can prove it, and then the Department of Justice goes after him. This is atrocious in American history that something like this can be happening in our system. If you're trying to compare it to Trump or anything like that, either stop. If Trump did stuff like this, like everybody was saying that Trump's son should be checked for cocaine back in the day, and there wasn't a bunch of Trump supporters that were like against that. We're like, go ahead, we don't care, go for it. That's the thing, man. I want signatures, checks on ballots from any side. That's not even this fight anymore. This is not a left-right. This is not a voting issue. It's like good versus evil. There are people chopping off their kids' genitalia in the pursuit of what they think is a good thing. Julian Assange today is not allowed to roam free in the world because he exposed that the United States was murdering people, innocent people in other countries. This thing has got to be brought down, man. And by brought down, I don't mean like in a way that's not lawful. I mean in a way that is lawful, that is appropriate. We're in a weird stage in society where you're kind of looking at it and you're going, damn, is this thing gonna explode? And I'm gonna have to basically do what peasants did in every other country and kind of start from the bottom and like figure things out if there is no electricity because they like decide to self-nuke ourselves and blame it on Russia so that we can get into war with them. You know what I mean? I would suspect that to occur way more likely than Russia actually shooting us with a nuke. When you listen to Putin's speeches, and I'm not like a pro-Putin person, okay? I don't have enough information about the good things that he's done to outweigh the bad that I know he's done, right? As far as, you know, murdering people and things. And that just seems to be like a way that all of like the governments of the world operate. Like nobody has murdered more people than governments, bro. My God, if we could just all get along, that would be amazing. It just doesn't happen that way in society. So there has to be a system that's set up to some degree. And the best one we could think of was, instead of from the top down, was bottom up, where people were like, look, let's start a country based on like, you're going to represent what all of us want so that this thing works the best for us and doesn't end up murdering a ton of us. That was kind of the goal, because they had just come from things where that kept happening. Tyrants were just murdering folks that weren't, submissive. And so that's obviously not sustainable, right? So the goal is to have something like what we've got now in the United States, or like what we had 20 years ago in the United States before 9/11 happened, because then there was a lot more surveillance and things like that we okayed in the name of safety, and we gave up a lot of our freedoms. And the thing about the United States of America is that we're watching it happen. We're watching this thing that we knew and heard about was fought for, to make sure that the tyrants don't get to be tyrannical to the degree that they used to be. And we just see the left unhooking the lock of that lion in the cage, and we're like, dude, stop. You can't let them get the net all the way around us, because then they end up murdering a lot of us. That just seems to be the way history works.